Starting in 1789 with George Washington as the first U.S. president till 2022 with Joe Biden, the White House has seen 45 presidents. Some of us might even remember the names of all these presidents, but very few of us know how every president died, except a few who were assassinated. Let's take a deep dive into how every U.S. president died. Did you know that 4 U.S. presidents died in office? Just 1 month after taking office on April 4, 1841, President William Henry Harrison died. On July 9, 1850, President Zachary Taylor also passed away at the White House. Franklin Roosevelt and President Warren Harding passed away while in office. William Henry Harrison, Zachary Taylor, Abraham Lincoln, William McKinley, Warren G. Harding, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy are the 7 presidents who have the honor of being laid in the White House East Room. Only James Garfield, out of the 8 presidents who passed away while in office, was not buried in the East Room since he passed away outside of Washington, D.C., and his body was put to rest at the U.S. Capitol. Let's have a chronological look to know the cause of death for each U.S. president. Number 1. George Washington. On December 10, 1799, while riding through a rain and sleet storm around his property, he caught a severe cold that led to his death. A chill came when the cold got worse and brought severe laryngitis. He passed away on December 14, 1799, at the age of 68. Number 2. John Adams. John Adams reached the age of 91 before passing away from old age. Despite being sharp cognitively, he was almost blind and was unable to write with a firm hand. He died a natural death on July 4, 1826. On July 4, 1826, Thomas Jefferson passed away at the age of 83 a few hours before Adams. He had chronic diarrhea, which was made worse by his advanced age and frequent use of the water from the White Sulphur Springs. Number 4. James Madison. On July 28, 1836, James passed away peacefully at the age of 85 from old age. His mental powers were fully intact at the time of his death, which means he was fit and fine and died a natural death. Number 5. James Monroe. James Monroe's death occurred naturally on July 4, 1831, when he was 72 years old. He was attributed to nothing more than deteriorating health. Number 6. John Q. Adams. On February 21, 1848, while speaking to the Speaker of the House of Representatives as a member of Congress at the time, John Q. Adams suddenly became paralyzed. He passed away in the Capitol's rotunda at the age of 81. Number 7. Andrew Jackson. At the age of 78, Andrew Jackson passed away on June 8, 1845. He battled consumption before developing dropsy, which became evident around 6 months before his death. Number 8. Martin Van Buren. On July 24, 1862, Martin Van Buren passed away due to a severe asthma attack, followed by lung and throat catarrh at the age of 80. Number 9. William Harrison. Harrison served the shortest term of the presidency. He contracted pleurisy as a result of a cold on the day of his inauguration, which led to his demise. Severe diarrhea was also present and did not respond to medical intervention. He died a month after his inauguration on April 4, 1811. He passed away. Number 10. John Tyler. Tyler was ill all his life, and it affected him greatly. He had colds more regularly in the winter as he got older. On January 12, 1862, he vomited and passed out after claiming to have chills and vertigo. He received medical intervention, but his condition didn't get better. Tyler passed away in Richmond at the age of 71, most likely from a stroke. Number 11. James Polk. James experienced a mild cholera illness in the spring of 1849 while traveling up the Mississippi River on a boat. Although momentarily at ease, he relapsed upon his return home, and on June 15, 1849, he passed away at the age of 54. Number 12. Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor became president at the age of 64 in 1849 and served 1 year in office until his death. He was the second president to pass away in office in 1850. He is alleged to have consumed excessive amounts of ice water, iced milk, and cherries, which caused cholera morbus. Number 13. Millard Fillmore. Millard became president at the age of 50 in 1850 and served 3 years in office until 1853. He died from a stroke of paralysis on March 8, 1874, at the age of 74. Number 14. Franklin Pierce. Franklin was elected president at the age of 48 in 1851 and served 4 years in office till 1857. On October 8, 1869, he passed away from abdominal dropsy at the age of 65. Number 15. James Buchanan. Buchanan became president at the age of 65 and served 4 years in office until 1861. Rheumatic gout was the cause of his death, which happened on June 1, 1868, at the age of 77. Number 16. Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln was elected as president at the age of 52 in 1861 and served 4 years in office till 1865. On April 14, 1865, John Wilkes Booth shot him in Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. He passed away the next day at the age of 56. Number 17. Andrew Johnson. Andrew joined the office in 1865 at the age of 56 and served for 4 years as president till 1869. At the age of 66, Andrew suffered a severe stroke of paralysis and died on July 31, 1875. Number 18. Ulysses S. Grant. Grant was the first president to serve 2 full terms. He remained in office from 1869 to 1877. He was suffering from terminal throat cancer and died on July 23, 1885, at the age of 63. Number 19. Rutherford B. Hayes. Hayes became the president at the age of 54 in 1877 and remained in office till 1881. On January 17, 1893, Hayes, who was 70 years old, passed away at his home from complications following a heart attack. Number 20. James Garfield. James served only 6 months in the office. He was elected as the president in 1881 and was shot after 4 months of service in the office. He died at the age of 49. After William Henry Harrison, he was the second to serve the least time as president in U.S. history. Number 21. Chester A. Arthur. On November 19, 1886, Chester Allen Arthur passed away at his Lexington Avenue home. His cerebral apoplexy, brought on by the rupture of a tiny artery inside the brain, was the direct cause of his death. Number 22. Grover Cleveland. He was the 22nd and the 24th President of the United States. Cleveland's health had been deteriorating for some years when he became gravely ill in the autumn of 1907. In 1908, he suffered a heart attack and died on June 28, 1908, at the age of 71 in his Princeton home. Number 23. Benjamin Harrison. In February 1901, Harrison had what was initially assumed to be influenza but was later determined to be pneumonia. Harrison died of pneumonia on March 13, 1901, at the age of 67 at his home in Indianapolis. Number 24. William McKinley. On September 6, 1901, Leon Czolgosz shot McKinley twice in the abdomen at close range. McKinley's condition deteriorated on the morning of September 13th. McKinley passed away on September 14th at 2:15 a.m. Number 25. Theodore Roosevelt. At the age of 60, Roosevelt passed away in his sleep at Sagamore Hill between 4 and 4:15 a.m. Roosevelt had respiratory issues on the evening of January 5, 1919. It is believed that a blood clot that broke free from a vein and made its way to his lungs might have been the cause of death. Number 26. William Taft. On March 8, 1930, at the age of 72, William Taft passed away at his home in Washington, D.C. most likely from heart illness, liver inflammation, and high blood pressure. He had the honor of being the President and Supreme Court Justice and was buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Woodrow Wilson. After leaving office, Wilson's health did not significantly improve and started to deteriorate quickly in January 1924. On February 3, 1924, Woodrow Wilson passed away at the age of 67. Number 28. Warren Harding. On July 27, 1923, Harding complained of upper abdominal pain. He was forced to spend the night in bed after doctors discovered that pneumonia was also giving him trouble in addition to his heart. He passed away at the age of 57 at 7:30 that evening, taking his last breath. Number 29. Calvin Coolidge. At the age of 60 on January 5, 1933, Coolidge passed away abruptly from coronary thrombosis. Coolidge is interred in the cemetery in Plymouth Notch, Vermont. Number 30. Herbert Hoover. During the last 2 years of his life, Hoover battled 3 serious illnesses, including an operation in August 1962 to remove a tumor from his large intestine. On October 20, 1964, in New York City, he passed away from a severe internal hemorrhage. Number 31. Franklin Roosevelt. On April 12, 1945, in the late afternoon, Roosevelt fell out of his portrait chair at Warm Springs, Georgia. Large intracerebral hemorrhage was the diagnosis made by the attending cardiologist. Roosevelt passed away at the age of 63. Number 32. Harry Truman. Truman was hospitalized with pneumonia at Kansas City's Research Hospital and Medical Center on December 5, 1972. At the age of 88, he experienced multiple organ failure, went into a coma, and passed away on December 26. Number 33. Dwight Eisenhower. Eisenhower passed away at the age of 78 on the morning of March 28, 1969, in Washington, D.C. from congestive heart failure at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Number 34. John F. Kennedy. On Friday, November 22, 1963, at 12:30 p.m., President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. He was shot twice, once in the head and once in the back while riding in a presidential motorcade through downtown Dallas. The headshot caused the bullet to escape his neck. 30 minutes after being sent to Parkland Hospital for emergency care, Kennedy was declared dead. Number 35. Lyndon Johnson. Johnson had a severe heart attack in his bedroom on January 22, 1973. He was unconscious and not breathing. A cardiologist at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio declared Johnson dead upon arrival. Number 36. Richard Nixon. Nixon had arterial fibrillation for years, and it caused a blood clot to grow in his upper heart, break off, and go into his brain. Nixon swelled as a result of brain damage, going into a profound coma. On April 22, 1994, he passed away at the age of 81. Number 37. Gerald Ford. Ford passed away from diffuse arteriosclerosis and arteriosclerosis cerebrovascular disease on December 26, 2006, in his Rancho Mirage, California residence. Ford had lived 93 years and 165 days at the time of his passing, making him the longest living U.S. president. Number 38. Ronald Reagan. On the afternoon of June 5, 2004, Reagan passed away at his home in Bel Air, Los Angeles, California, from pneumonia aggravated by Alzheimer's disease. Number 39. George Bush. On November 30, 2018, at the age of 94, Bush passed away at his home in Houston after a protracted struggle with vascular Parkinson's disease. He was the second longest-living U.S. president at the time of his passing after Jimmy Carter. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, check out other historical videos on our channel.